That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door.
Can you hear me now? My mic was muted. Come to you live from the ice game. Here, let's get to the sponsor.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
We're going to be down there this Monday night for the watch party for the Bengals and Broncos game. But did you guys catch the end of the game for the second out? Check this out.
Holy shit, what a catch by the God! Let's go!
That was unbelievable. One of the best catches I've ever seen in my life. Joe Danneman is down there at the ballpark. I got to get his reaction. What? Joe, what? That was unbelievable, Joe. I'm shocked. I cannot believe he caught that ball.
You're talking about a guy who was playing the infield earlier this season, was a lifetime infielder, now moved to the outfield just to find a way to get his bat in the lineup. And because it's baseball, somehow, some way, that ball finds him in the outfield. And he said after the game, we just spoke to him and to some of his teammates, he said that's as high as he can get. He said he didn't feel his feet when he jumped off the ground. But you could see him when he was going back on the ball. He was measuring it. It felt like he had it lined up. I just didn't know if he was going to be able to get high enough to get it. I mean, Emilio Pagan's right. It felt like Odell Beckham Jr. going up and grabbing that football on Sunday Night Football, the catch he just made. And we don't know if the Reds would have lost the game, but it certainly feels, at least for the time being, that catch saved the Reds season and gave them a chance this weekend in Milwaukee.
So the catch it reminded me of, and I'm old, and I'm a little older than you, but
I know where you're going.
Carmelo Martinez.
Yes, Glenn Braggs.
Yes.
1990, Game 6, ninth inning.
Yep.
I mean, also, that game was 2-1 as well. It's unbelievable sometimes how these things come full circle. 35 years later, a right fielder against the Pirates, ninth inning, in a huge game, robs a home run. It's really uncanny.
Glenn freaking Braggs. All right, let's get to my other guest for today. Joe can only be on it for a little bit, but let me get to Angelo Dawkins. Doc, what's going on, my man?
What's good? How you doing?
Me and Joe are just sitting here ecstatic about the Reds. And right now, they are a half game out of the last wild card spot. I hate the Scrubs, but I'm rooting for them tonight. And yes, I call them Scrubs.
Yeah, they sold a couple days ago, but they made a redemption run yesterday. But I'm gonna need these guys right here to step it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm
I
gonna need
love
these
that.
guys right here. Need them to
Exactly.
step up, you know?
Exactly. And Joe, you're down there. How is Lodolo's growing? Is he going to make his next start in the playoffs?
That's the big question right now because he would be lined up to pitch game 2 in LA if the Reds do make it, right behind Hunter Green. He said after the game they thought they caught it in time, that it's not going to be serious, but he's just starting treatment now to see how it responds. He said he felt it a couple of pitches before he came out. It was getting progressively worse. But trying to think about what it might be like in 6 days, because that's when game 2 would be in LA. I don't think anybody knows at this point. They tried to get him out early enough as a precaution, but you saw what he was today, and that's what makes the Reds dangerous, right? Is the fact that Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott in a short series can be an absolute nightmare for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But they need Nick Lodolo to be out there for that
Yes.
nightmare to come true. So we'll see. He's got 6 days to figure it out, but they do believe, saying today, they got him out early enough that it wasn't a major injury.
Yeah, I didn't know anything was wrong with it. I'm watching, I'm going, what are they talking to him about? And I never did figure it out until I think Jim Day said it on the broadcast. He thinks it was a growing, and then it came back. Yeah, it was a slight growing strain, pull, whatever. Doc, do you think SmackDown might be out in LA by the time the Reds are in the playoffs, so you might be able to get some playoff tickets there?
Man, I hope. Shoot, I was low key hoping that while we got SmackDown there next week, there might be a Reds game at home this week. You know. Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, when we make the playoffs, the 3-game series in LA, so that's the only thing that stinks about it. But one thing I like though is, and this is my PTSD, that it's very, very hard to have a 1-game playoff, aka like we did the Mets in '99 because of all the tiebreakers and everything.
Right.
But they're going to Milwaukee, and Doc and Joe, they struggle with the Brewers. The Brewers have had their number again. I'll go back to 1999 when we couldn't beat them, in that last series to get to the 1-game playoff. But does that play that Martinez just made, or Marte just made, is that the momentum that gets this team over the hump?
I'll jump in real quick, and I'll say what Dusty Baker always said about momentum in baseball. Momentum in baseball is only as good as tomorrow's starting pitcher. And I think in this case, momentum in baseball is only as good as the opponent you're playing starting on Friday. And you're right. The history says that the Reds have struggled against Milwaukee. But the question is how is Milwaukee going to approach this weekend series,
right,
given the fact that even as early as today, if the Phillies lose today, they have the number 1 seed locked up. Now, if the Phillies win today, the Brewers still have something to play for, at least for 1 game, trying to lock up that number 1 seed. So that's the big question is how much is Milwaukee going to put into this series to try to win and by circumstance keep the Reds out of the playoffs? We just don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. But, yeah, I think, the magic, the momentum, whatever word you want to land on for what happened here at Great American Ballpark today, it just extends the belief that this team can do it, and it extends the season by another day. And it feels like when you have the tiebreaker like the Reds do over the Mets and over the Diamondbacks, that's all you're trying to do is get yourself in the situation where you can clinch and get back to controlling your own destiny, and that could happen as early as tonight if the Mets lose.
Yeah, I'll be definitely flipping back and forth, mostly watching probably the Mets game, depending on how it's going, and Thursday Night Football for sure. But let's get into the football talk here a little bit before you got to go, Joe. Now the Bengals are rolling into Denver, and I just want to put this out there. So far, my prediction for the season is right. I'm dead on so far. So I had us winning against the Browns and Jacksonville and losing in Minnesota. Now I had us winning in Denver, but this is all with Joe Burrow as the quarterback, and that debacle we had on Monday. And Ken in the chat here is saying, we should trade for Russell Wilson. He wants to come back home because he was born here, yada, yada, yada. Look, I'm like, Jake's been here for 4 years. I'm like, we're riding with Jake. That's what I think. Where are you guys at? Doc, I'll let you go first.
I do like Jake Browning a lot. I like him a lot. He's a baller. He's a gamer. He had a crazy, really, really bad Sunday this past Sunday.
They all did.
Yeah, everybody, man. I'm convinced I'm convinced, they put something in the air in Minnesota.
They turned the ball over 5 times. 5 times.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, bro. Like, that was insane. But
yeah,
I mean, look, if anything else, I would say, like, they can't play any worse than what they did Sunday.
Exactly.
Like they're not turning the ball over 5 times, and 2 of those ain't getting returned for touchdowns. Like, bro, like that was just a 1 day thing. They got it out of their system. Go to the Mile High City, you know what I'm saying? Beat up some Broncos and do work. But if we talking about trades, let's not trade Russ for Russ. All right, no need to trade for Russ. All right, I have a better trade.
What's that?
I have a better trade.
What's your trade?
And he's a New York Giant.
You want
Famous Jameis, bro.
He might throw the ball on the other team,
Jameis.
though, just as much as we did on Sunday.
Hey. With him, I can live with that because I know where there's 5 interceptions, there's 6 touchdowns coming. Okay. I can also live with the fact that it's Jameis Winston. Okay. Like,
Good. Eat that
it don't matter. This will be the best receiving core he's had in his whole NFL career.
True.
He had an aging Vincent Jackson, Mike Evans coming in. And he also had an aging Deshaun Jackson. So he's never had 2 great receivers at the same time.
There you go. Joe, what's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to say that this is a treat, Doc, to be on here with you because I'm a big fan, man. So I'm kind of geeking out a little bit being on the same podcast as you.
Joe wants to smoke. Joe wants to smoke.
I do want to smoke. Maybe. I love it. I love the idea of Jameis Winston coming to Cincinnati because I'm into it for my job and covering Jameis Winston and having that guy in the interviews he does here in Cincinnati would just be absolute gold for local TV. So I would love that. Plus, I mean, the guy would be entertainment off the hook every single Sunday, and that's what I want. If I'm going to watch Bengals games, I want to be entertained. And if Joe Burrow's not playing, give me all that entertainment that Jameis Winston brings. But the reality is they love Jake. Jake's been in the system now for a long time. They have belief in Jake. They have confidence. It's not lip service. It's not false confidence. They really do believe this guy can help them win games. Do they believe he can win enough for them to get back to the playoffs? Probably not. I mean, I certainly think with what they have around him, at least on offense at skill position, they can help elevate him. Because so many times in football, guys, we talk about the quarterback having to elevate everybody around him. Mm-hmm. Well, the Bengals, their skill position guys can elevate him. He's just got to give them shots to make plays down the field. I'm with Angelo. I think the Bengals are going to play much better on Monday night. I don't know if it'll be enough to win because we have to remember, this is pretty much desperation time now for Denver at 1-2, and they're expected to go to the playoffs themselves. So the Bengals are going to get their best shot. They've got a defense that can be disruptive up front, and we've seen that's been problematic for the Bengals so far this year. But I certainly believe the Bengals are going to be in the game in the fourth quarter and have a chance to win. Last Sunday was an aberration. That just got out of control. It snowballed.
Right.
The Bengals aren't that bad of a team, so I fully expect the Bengals to play better on Monday night, and I fully expect Jake Browning, outside of an injury, to be this team's quarterback for the rest of the season.
Yeah, my biggest thing for going into this game, I do think Jake's going to play better. I don't think we're going to turn the ball over five times. I mean, Jamar Chase fumbled the ball. I mean, that doesn't happen. The biggest concerning thing for me is that offensive line. Ted Karras has got to play better. Zeus has got to play better. They were just getting beat. And we were trying – people come at me and say, well, you can't run Joe Burrow's offense. That wasn't Joe Burrow's offense. They tried to run the ball a lot more last Sunday, and they just flat could not run it. Now, you're down 3 scores. It's harder to run the ball. They're going to pin their ears back and stack the box and all that. So if they don't turn the ball over 5 times, it's a little different. But still, the offensive line was concerning to me. Now, Joe, what have you heard on Dalton Risner? Is there a chance he's going to play? Is Rivers going to be in there? What have you heard?
So what Zach Taylor said today made it sound like Dalton Risner is going to be good to go from a health standpoint, but that doesn't guarantee he's going to start on Monday night. Zach Taylor kind of left it open almost to the point where it sounds like there might be an open competition this week to see who plays right guard for the Bengals. So keep your eye on Jalen Rivers maybe getting some more time at right guard starting on Monday night. But it sounds like Dalton Risner came out of the game in better shape than they thought. But I think this goes back to the construction of the offensive line. And, listen, every player has a strength and a weakness. And, this team was built around Joe, Jamar, and T. and they built this offensive line to pass protect for Joe. I mean, we've been clamoring for years for this team to protect Joe Burrow. Also, they went out and got guys that are great pass protectors, but maybe necessarily aren't great run blockers, and we've seen that now for 3 weeks. I think it's also important to point out, too, the Bengals have played some pretty darn good fronts the first 3 weeks.
Yes,
and I think there's going to be some weeks coming up where Chase Brown and this offense find some rhythm in the run game, but it's not going to get any easier these next couple of weeks with the schedule they have in front of them. So certainly there's urgency. Certainly there's been accountability from guys like Ted Karras and from Orlando Brown that they need to be better. They know it. They get it. And I think you're going to see these guys who have played a lot of good football step up and play better football on Monday night.
Doc, what's your thoughts on the Bengals going into the game Monday night?
I think they'll actually be able to run the ball way better. Obviously, the O-line is a question mark, but I mean, yeah, Chase Brown said it. I think they just got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, they got to block with a chip on their shoulder, you know what I'm saying, throw a pair, in a sense of what he was kind of saying in the locker room after the game Sunday. But, like, I think as long as they can run the ball, and, like, the one thing that's been weird about, like, Zach Taylor, he was known for like screens and all that stuff, and we rarely have ever seen screens. Like the last time I feel like I've seen a screen was 2 years ago. That was Chase Brown's rookie year against the Colts, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. He was really good at calling screenplays and all that stuff. He's like, he just never mixes in screens anymore. Which I don't know if it's because of the O-line personnel. Can they execute a screen? We don't know, but like I think the O-line. I think the O-line gets challenged this week, and then they go out in there and have a great game. Keep Jake Brown upright. They actually run the ball. I said, they actually get 100 yards rushing this game.
Ooh, there you go. I'll take that. But I do agree with you on the screen game. Joe, I know you got to get out of here. You got any final thoughts before I let you go? And I always do. I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your time and all that stuff.
I think it's a fun time right now in Cincinnati with what the Reds are doing. And I know a lot of people the last 2 nights kind of took it as a gut punch. But here they are. If the Mets lose tonight, again, back in control of their own destiny. And if you would have asked Reds fans before the season started if they had one final weekend and a chance to go to the playoffs, they'd sign up for it and take it. So it feels like this team has a really good chance this weekend. Again, I'm going to be very curious to see what the Brewers do and how they approach this weekend for themselves. But I also think it's important, too, on the Bengals front for people not to give up on this team. Now, certainly it would be easy to say they're probably not going to make the playoffs. And I think a lot of people would be correct in saying that they wouldn't put money on the Bengals to make the playoffs right now.
I already did.
But we saw what they did just a couple of years ago with Jake Browning at quarterback. There has to be some optimism for this team because once they get past, and we know it's murderer's row here the next few weeks, right? Mm-hmm. But once they get past that Thursday night game against the Steelers, the schedule really starts to ease up. So if the Bengals can somehow find a way to get to 3-1, they've got a bit of a cushion before they play the Lions, the Packers, and Steelers, and then they can start rattling off wins after that.
Exactly. And they're in first place. So right now, they're in first place. Joe, I appreciate it. I know you got to go do TV stuff. See you, man. Thanks.
It's a pleasure. See you guys.
Bye.
See you.
Joe's awesome. He's was literally, I think, in the Reds dugout doing that. That was pretty freaking cool. So, Doc,
that's dope.
He had a couple points there real quick about the Phillies that I didn't even think about. If they win tonight, then if they win tonight, that would clinch the first place in the home field advantage for them or the Brewers. The Brewers could go into this series just like the Kansas City Chiefs did last year versus the Denver Broncos and not give a crap. Which I'm here for that because we got screwed last year by Kansas City. So let's let the Reds get a shot at it here. You know.
Hey, you know what? I'm all for that solely because, you know what I'm saying? I want to see nothing but janitors and dudes off the streets on the baseball field playing for them when they play the Reds, all right? That's what I need to see. I need that same Kansas City mentality, you know? I thought that was the Carson Wentz that we were going to see on Sunday.
I did
In
too.
fact, Carson Wentz really barely even did anything. He had short fields to really march the field, you know? Outside of that first drive where they just handed them penalties just to get to the red zone.
Exactly. I think you're driving right now because you're frozen. But yeah, exactly what Doc said.
Got me?
Are you
Okay.
back? There. You're back. You're back. I hear you now. Go ahead.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah, like it was just like that's what we need from the Brewers, you know?
Exactly. And you made a good point there. Like Carson Wentz, I mean, we gave him 2 pick six and a fumble for the score, and then we turned the ball over again, and they went down and scored a field goal on that. We were down 3 scores before we even knew it hit them, and Carson Wentz literally didn't have to do anything. So this whole thing, like,
Didn't have to do nothing.
Yeah, Carson Wentz outplayed Jake Browning. I was like, Carson Wentz didn't have to do anything. I mean, and the first drive of the game that they went down and scored on us, how many penalties did the Bengals have? I mean, we literally were giving them the field position. I mean,
one of those penalties was very interesting. Let's say that.
But yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it just for some reason the Bengals. I don't want to say weren't ready to play or what. It just was not their game. No matter what the hell they did Sunday, they weren't winning that game.
And I will say this: there's something to be said. Every time I feel like I see a Brian Flores defense, every time he goes up against Zach Taylor, I feel like the physical game is won by Brian Flores just because like they are just running to the ball, they're pursuit, getting pressure on the quarterback, just forcing them to make decisions that he don't want to make. And like Zach Taylor, it seems like Zach Taylor's in a whirlwind every time he faces Brian Flores, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. But speaking of defense, I actually think our defense, despite the 48-10 loss, actually played pretty good. We sacked Wentz with 3 times. I mean, I think the defense overall has actually played a lot better than it did at any point last year. And hopefully they'll just stack up from there. Because, I mean, Miles Murphy got a sack. I think Osai got a sack. So we had other guys step up. Yeah, Hendrickson. We had guys step up and get pressure on him and get sacks. That bodes well moving forward. Oh, Chris Jenkins got one too. Forgot about Chris Jenkins. He even got his first sack. So
I was very impressed by the D line of the Cincinnati Bengals. They were getting pressure. They were, they were getting to the ball carrier and all that stuff. It wasn't like no gain 2-yard gain turns into a 6-yard gain and stuff like that. Like when they got to the dude, he was on the ground immediately. And that was great just because like, hey, they could build off that. And now the funny part was like, I felt so bad for Trey Hendrickson because I saw it on his face when Isaiah Rodgers returned that fumble for a touchdown, for the second defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
You saw the look on Trey Hendrickson's face like, what
the
hell is going on, man? Like, what are we doing, bro?
That's what all of us are now. Like, what the hell are we doing? Because, I mean, Noah Fant turned the ball over. Jamar Chase turned the ball over. P. Ryan turned the ball over. I mean, it's just – and these guys are ones that aren't known for fumbling the ball. And Robinson Rogers, or whatever the hell his name is, had a freaking game of his life. He will never have a game like that ever again. I mean, that's Hall of Fame, Pro Bowl game all wrapped up in one. That's never going to happen again.
Right.
It was just crazy.
Man, like, I don't think that's going to happen again. That literally had to have been the best defensive game. He might as well just go ahead and win Defensive Player of the Month. Not even a week. Give him a month. Because ain't nobody going to be able to do what he did. Yeah.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to be able to do what he did.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, and I agree with you. So you think the Bengals, and I love this thought, I hope this happens, you think they can actually run for 100 yards on Denver's defense? What gives you the confidence in that?
Well, I mean, hey, looking at all the other teams that went up against Denver, even though Denver's defense is stout, I feel like obviously the Chargers, they have a really good O-line. They can run the ball. The Colts, shocking everybody with Indiana Jones at quarterback, torching them and stuff like that. And I think their defense, they had expectations coming into this year. Bo Nix balled out last year. There's tape on him, and I think they could be had this week coming up. Sorry, I got my 1-year-old crying.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man. I see you're in the car. It's no worries. I appreciate you having time to jump on with me. So, But yeah, I to me the offensive line is the big key to this whole thing. They got to play better, and I'm kind of curious about what Joe said, where he said, "Yeah, Dalton Reiser is health wise is good to go Monday, but not necessarily that he's going to start." Because I said this before they signed before they signed Reisner, and I was very happy they signed Reisner, but I thought Rivers could eventually be our starting right guard, and I didn't think it would be happen here in week 4, but maybe it does. It still scares me having 2 rookie guards, but at this point, the way the offensive line looked, if Rivers is your best guy and more athletic, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and also Rivers didn't really give up a sack in college too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm pretty sure
He's the kid out of Miami, right?
Yeah. He was a tackle. He was tackle in college mostly, but he did play some guard. But he's projected more of a guard in the NFL. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, bruh, like if he can help the offensive line and he adds some meanness to it, you know what I'm saying, some grittiness, and he could get a push up front, I say play him. If Dalton Reisner ain't feeling like up to par, which I was super happy that they signed him too, because I felt like we were kind of being a little cheap still in the O-line, which is crazy, but at the same time, like, I get it to a degree, but if your MO is not developing old linemen like that, like, you should try to be more aggressive and go out and get trenches, because that's how the game is won, and that's where the game starts. That's where the game finishes, the trenches. And the fact that if Rivers can add to that old line, get that running game going, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. We got a question here from my boy Tony Blaze, and he says,
sure if he's
oh. Sorry, I thought you're done. I didn't hear.
Have any wrestlers?
Have any wrestlers ever get turf tail? Did you?
Yeah, I had turf.
You
it did not feel great. It was annoying.
I
ain't tearing any ligaments though.
Do you know what you did to get it? Did somebody land on you wrong?
Nah, it was weird. I don't know if it was like, I mean, it could have been, but I just felt like it was like me walking on hard floors and stuff barefoot sometimes. And
man,
it come from that, because like I remember it right there under my big toe, and I was just like, oh. Like, it was painful. I had to get like one of those things and put it in my shoe.
Oh yeah, that's what they're talking about for Joe.
Yeah.
If he's able to come back, put a metal plate or something in his toe to keep it from bending so much. If he comes back in December or whatever. So you wrestled with that in your boot?
Yeah, it was annoying though. Like, it sucks just because like you never, like, when you do that, you don't realize how much you use your big toe, I guess.
Right.
Or like the fact that the pain is there is just like, this sucks. Like, it takes a lot to a degree.
Well, yeah.
And it's it just sucks because the injury's called turf toe. So like, it don't sound like too
masculine.
Doesn't sound like it'll be bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you got turf toe,
bro.
You got turf toe. You're a wrestler. You don't even walk on turf.
Yeah.
But it's no joke, man, because you get that. You get anything wrong with your toes, man, it hurts because you use your toes all the time, more than you actually think you do. Just walking.
Yeah. It's amazing, like, how, like, once you start feeling pain in those areas, just like, dang, bro, like, I didn't realize I was using this much.
So how long did it take you to get over it before you, because, I mean, it's not like you guys take days off.
Yeah, I think, at that time, I think, like, I wrestled on it once, and then we had, like, a couple weeks off just because, like, we had just wrestled a pretty big match, and so we kind of had a little time to. They gave us like a couple weeks off, so I'll say a month, maybe.
Yeah. Well, luckily you recovered from it. Hopefully, Joe will recover from it. And that's the whole thing is if the Bengals can stay afloat, which I keep saying this, they're 2-1. So I mean, we're playing with house money. We were 0-3 last year. We're 2-1 now.
Right.
If they can get to 3-1, I mean, let me look at the schedule here. I got it written down. So they got 3-1. Then they got Detroit and Green Bay. So those two are if they win in Denver, they got Detroit and Green Bay. Both those are going to be tough games. But both those teams have also had games that you're like, really? How'd you lose that? So, and then you got Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So 3-1 will be huge. I mean, it would be absolutely huge for this team for this season and the schedule.
If we can squeak one out, if we can beat Denver, I think the season turns around a little bit. And their hope starts getting around Cincinnati some more. But I mean, look, man. Now we know how important those 2 games that we won are right now. Because had it been last year, I would have been like, all right, let's get ready for a top 10 pick.
Right, exactly. Like we're done, but we're not. I mean, and that's the last year. If we'd won, dude, Doc, we would have won one of those first 2 games. If they would have beat the Patriots, we would have made the playoffs last year. I mean, that's how critical these games are. And I keep bringing this back to give Cincinnati fans hope. I mean, the Reds, they're a half game out of the playoffs right now. There's so many times this year that I'm like, oh, they're done. They get within 2, then they go get swept by the Dodgers. Then they get within 2, they go get swept by the A's. And now they got the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, and then they lose the first 2 games to Pittsburgh. It's like, God, but they're still freaking in it. That's why things can change.
Look, man,
you see how long ways to go.
I'll tell you this, all right? The Reds better make the playoffs, all right? See, me, and I'm an Ohio State fan, right?
Yes,
me and
sir.
one of my guys from one of our cameramen, Grogan, he lives in Columbus. He's a Team Up North fan. But we're both Cincinnati Reds fans. Yeah. This brought us together to be nice to each other because we really want the Reds to make the playoffs, all right? So if the Reds don't make this playoffs, I'm going to be highly upset because I decided to be nice to a Team Up North guy.
So how in the hell, if he's from Columbus, Ohio, how did he become a fan of that Team Up North?
I think somebody dropped him on his head.
It had to be, right?
Yeah. It's funny because me, him, and Big E, we're huge college football guys. So we're in a group chat and we just talk college ball all day. Sent the message all right, dogs. And I sent one of me in the Reds jersey. And he was like, oh, look at you two being nice to each other for a change. I was like, man, look, if they don't make the playoffs, dog, us being nice to each other was for nothing.
Well, we can talk a little college football here because I know my Bearcats got a big game against Kansas, so hopefully they will come out and win that. What's your thoughts on Ohio State and how they've done so far this year?
Oh, man, they look good. I mean, the fact that they added Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator, that speaks volumes because I know he had a little rough stint in Detroit as a head coach, and then he went back to New England, and for some reason, Bill Belichick was just trolling everybody saying, hey, you know what, Matt? You're going to be the offensive coordinator real quick.
Right. That makes sense.
That was insane, but Matt Patricia is one of the best defensive coordinators to ever do it. He was there for all those Super Bowl runs in New England. Obviously, his defense was always top tier in the league, and the fact that he has a new outlook on everything now is dope. I mean, they had me sold when they made him the defensive coordinator. They had me sold when he was on the Pat McAfee show talking about the defensive playbook. He has his, Belichick's, and then one called the Bible. I was like, hey, yeah, he need to go to Ohio State. And lo and behold, sure enough, they ended up getting him. And I was just like, oh, this is going to be good. And then the fact that he has Caleb Downs, easily the best defensive player in college football, if not one of the best players in college football today. And, the things that he's able to do, use him on the field and stuff like that for different packages, different coverages, and just be able to, use him as a spy and all that stuff, it makes that defense go. I mean, you saw what they did to Arch Manning, you know what I'm saying? And not to say he's looked great at all.
No.
Really, like he's kind of underperformed, and I hope he does like pick it up. But like they made him, he was the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. Everybody
Right.
was might as well had a Heisman ceremony before the game, but they went out there and they balled out. I know they had like a little struggle against Ohio, but Ohio usually plays them tough. Now the test is real. Now they're going up against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
New to the Big Ten. Obviously, they got a stud athlete at quarterback. They got stud athletes all around. They're undefeated. Ohio State's undefeated, the defending national champions. And it's probably in one of my favorite stadiums in college football in Washington because there's nothing like Seagating. You know what I'm saying? Being out there on the lake, tailgating, being able to watch the game and stuff like that. But I think Ohio State's going to win at least by 3 touchdowns Saturday. But I am loving what I'm seeing from Ohio State. Julian Sand, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Peoples. We got Bo Jackson, no relation, at running back. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, man, our offense is humming right now. Our offensive line is playing good. Our run game is starting to click. Our pass game is getting there. Julian Sand, one of the most composed quarterbacks in the game today, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I was
chance to repeat.
I was really impressed with the quarterback. It wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he one of the top recruits of the country at quarterback when he came out? I think I'm correct on that.
Yep, he was a 5-star.
Yeah, and he's more accurate than. I mean, I don't know what I expect. I don't know what I expected, but he's very accurate for a first-time starter in major college football. I'll put it that way. I mean, compared to what Arch Manning has done, which
that was
good.
That was his MO in high school. I know like a couple guys that coach out there in California where he's from, and they were like, "Yo, like he's just really precise with the ball. He makes great decisions. He don't really turn the ball over and all that stuff." And that's why. Remember, he committed to Bama.
Right.
He was there with Caleb Downs, and then obviously Nick Saban retiring. Shout out to Nick Saban for retiring because we got Caleb Downs and Julian Sand all out of it, which is dope. So I mean, but yeah, like that's been his MO. He's always been really accurate with the ball. He makes great decisions. He lives to fight another down. He don't make crazy turnovers. I know he had a couple fluky ones against Ohio a couple weeks ago, but he lives to fight another down. He ain't trying to force nothing.
Exactly. Now, what is your I do want to talk a little about Arch Manning, and that I am kind of shocked of how average he's looked. I'll put it that way. I do think he's going to get better, but all this hype for the last 2 years, our Manning's coming, Arch's coming, yada yada yada, and I'm not going to say he's falling flat on his face, but he hasn't looked really as good as, like you said, they were going to give him the Heisman before the season even started. Do you think he gets better to live up to the hype, or is it too hard to live up to that name, to the hype that he had before he even got on the field?
Man, it's tough to say. Just because of the simple fact, like obviously the media was hyping this dude up. Like the last name alone, it carries weight. Manning, like with that last name, that comes with the territory of pressure, greatness, and all the other things above. Now, how he's handling it, I'm pretty sure he's getting advice from his uncles and stuff on how to handle it. But I think also too, like now that the media's turned on him a bit after not playing so well the last couple games, and then like he had that crazy game last week where he was flexing on homeboy from Sam Houston State,
right?
And everybody was making fun of him. And but like I think like once he gets to a point where he's comfortable and he's quieting the noise a little bit, he just keeps the main thing. I like watch Cam Newton's podcast, and he says that like keep the main thing. And when Arch does that, I think he's gonna be great. It's just his first year actually starting.
Right. Yeah.
Growing pains, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's and that's where I go back to Ohio State's quarterback. I was surprised at how well he's done replacing, the quarterback that he replaced, national championship and all that stuff. And they haven't missed a beat. And I really thought this year would kind of be a down year for Ohio State, even though all the recruits they got there, just because it's hard to repeat. I mean, and the bullseye is on your back, but right now, man, they're looking pretty good. So I'm very excited. And you know me, I'm a Bearcat fan, number one. That's my team, but my number two team is Ohio State. So I got to say my Bearcats, but and everybody always gives me crap like, oh, you can't be a fan of both. Like, look, when I grew up in when I grew up in the 80s, like the Bearcats sucked at football. They were never on TV or anything. Ohio State was always on TV. So that's the team I always watched. Then when the Bearcats started getting better at football, still they were my number one to begin with. So that's how I became an Ohio State fan.
Okay. Yeah.
How exactly did you become an Ohio State fan?
I have a bunch of family that graduated from there. So it was I already grew up as an Ohio State fan.
Have you got to go? How many times have you got to go to the shoe?
I've gone a couple times actually. I'd say about 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I've went twice. Both times the Bearcats played them, and we got our ass kicked. But I got to go. It's a very huge and awesome stadium. I will tell you that. So Angelo, I won't keep you on here too much longer. Look like you're close to your destiny. You got anything going on SmackDown? Anything any storylines you could any smack talk you want to do before I let you get out of here?
Well, not really. I mean, obviously, got SmackDown coming to Cincinnati in 2 weeks or after this week. So next week, be in Cincinnati, which is going to be a fun time. I'm actually going to be going to the Bengals game Sunday.
Ooh, hey, come to my tailgate. I got the tailgate at Moorline again, but it's downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely come through. I know it's a 4:25 game, so I actually be able to party a little bit.
You should.
It's gonna be fun. To enjoy all my time in Cincinnati. I also think I gotta go I think I gotta go to the Bearcats game next week too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing there?
Sure. I have no clue. It was brought up to me.
Yeah, don't wear your Ohio State stuff there.
It'll be all right. Everybody know I love Cincinnati, man.
we know. But hey, dude, yeah, for sure. Hit me up when you get in town, and we'll go hang out everywhere. But for sure, hang out down at the Moreland Logger House. So remember last year we had it upstairs.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yep.
This year it's downstairs in the beer garden. It's right where by the bar is down there. So I'm down there. We got a DJ playing music, we're giving away ticket or prizes and stuff. We got beer pong down there. We got cornhole. Best Day Brewery is giving away free samples of their non-alcoholic beer. You got a chance to win gifts and prizes we got a football toss. You got to throw the football into the hole. So it's a good time. So come on down and we'll have a great time. And
oh yeah, you already know. Then I gotta go make sure they ain't named lot lizards. So
yeah, you gotta go see the boys in the lot one, the lot lizard crew.
Yeah, not there. Shouldn't be a name. Shouldn't even be a thing.
It's also they're also down there with Project Game Day. They do that a lot too. So
yeah,
Doc, I appreciate you, man. I'll let you go. And hey, I'll see you in 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Who day?
Who day?
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Joe Danneman and Angelo Dawkins, both my guests, started a little bit earlier today, 10 minutes earlier, because Joe Danneman had to be on the air. He had to leave by 5:40. So I started the show about 10 minutes early. So hope you guys didn't mind that. And then if you missed any of it, you can rewind and watch it afterwards. But thanks for watching. As always, I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And also check out my Substack there. I've been writing a couple articles. So Substack, it's under Sports with Strawberry Ice. Everything Sports with Strawberry Ice. You can follow me on all of that. I'll be pulling this out later on tonight. Put it on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor, listen to it, like it, review it, leave a 5-star review and a comment so more Cincinnati fans find my podcast.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. You tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
And of course, Moorline Lager House, I'll be down there this Monday for the watch party as we hopefully watch the Bengals beat the Denver Broncos. And as Doc said, watch them run for over 100 yards on the Broncos. That'd be great. I'd be here for it. We need them to go 3-1. The Reds right now are half a game out of the playoffs. We need the Scrubs to beat the Mets tonight. I think the Diamondbacks are playing the Dodgers still, I think. So two teams I hate, the Scrubs and the Dodgers. I need them both to win. So we'll see what happens. And I just got to play this game. This is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
Holy shit, what a catch by McGon! Let's go!
Now, I think I yelled Pagan because that's who the pitcher was, and it was Marte. But I was so excited, I didn't care. I was so excited for that catch. Marte played that ball perfectly. He was going back. And when they hit the ball, I'm like, oh, crap. But he's going back slowly, and jumps up. And he did it perfectly because sometimes guys jump up and they'll hit their shoulder or their back against the wall, and it'll keep their own momentum from going up. But he did it perfectly. So shout out to Novi Marte for an unbelievable catch. Go Scrubs. Go Dodgers. Of course, Houday for life. Go Reds, baby. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.